Unless otherwise indicated, all the following scripture quotations are taken from the Holy Bible, New Living Translation, with copyright by Tyndale Foundation, used by permission of Tyndale House Publishers, all rights reserved.
Today, we're going to take a look at some TikToks to see if mother-in-laws actually have a point. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm the one they call Peachy and you are most welcome to join me here. Okie dokie, so I like to try and understand people and understand things, and I'm very much open to a different perspective because I think everybody should learn something from everywhere. And if you feel like you've learned something from my channel, please consider subscribing and liking this video. But anyway, so yeah, sometimes mother-in-laws actually have a good point. You might find that hard to believe if you have a very contentious relationship with your mother-in-law. But perhaps there's something you can do to work on it, and we're going to try and understand where some of these mother-in-laws are coming from, and then we are going to see if we can kind of meet in the middle somewhere. Hopefully some tips that I have might assist with your problem. Otherwise, you will probably just have a contentious relationship forever, which is kind of sad. So let's get going. Okay, so she was doing that song by Brandy, and I think it was Monica, The Boy Is Mine, you know, The Boy Is Mine, that thing. And yeah, I got a problem with this, honey. Look, I know you love your son because that's usually where these kind of feelings and stuff come from. Just moms just loving their sons. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is when you start referring to your son as a possession, because then you stop respecting him. It's not about your daughter-in-law or potential daughter-in-law or his girlfriend, whatever at that point. You've taken his choice out of the situation, and arguably you might be loving yourself a little bit more than you're loving your kid. So that might be something to think about there. I'm not trying to say that you're a bad mom, but maybe it's just something to think about because your son is an individual and he's an adult.
Right, you! I'm talking to y'all. This daughter-in-laws don't have filthy, dirty ways, man. Can y'all help the other ladies when there's a prayer, when there's a function, when there's things to be done? Don't come with your bloody lazy ways. What you do in your mother's house, you're queen in your mother's house, not in your mother-in-law's house. Not when you're going for function. You don't sit and make stories. You go and help the other woman. You assist over there, huh? Not sit and hold and massage your people's husbands' balls. How? Eating time, you know how to eat. Cleaning time, you must help and assist with the function too. So much complaints we're getting about y'all. Bloody don't disgrace your family, man. Don't disgrace your upbringing.
Okay, let me just say her hair is like, I love it so much. It's awesome. But aside from that, I 110% agree with her point. Although just something for you as a mother-in-law to notice, your daughter-in-law could still be trying to figure out where she fits into the family, because you've got all these mums and these aunties and everybody that already know what to do when everybody gets together and has a function. So instead of trying to be like, oh, she's lazy, just try and include her. So like, okay, you know what? You can make the potato salad or something for the braai, or you can do the dishes and assist with that. And then when we've tested your cooking skills over the next 15 years, we'll give you a bigger task. But try and integrate with the daughters-in-law. Don't just call them lazy. Don't just consider them lazy, because it could just be they're trying to figure out where they fit in. And she might be very, very good at making a biryani, but everybody wants to eat your biryani. And so now she's like, now what do I do? You know? And then again, you could just be like, okay, you can just help out with the dishes, or you can help out with the kids, whatever it is. But try and make a space for the women that are joining your family, because you were in that place too at some point.
Taru, my son, your husband, suckled on this my breast for 9 months. Mama, do you want to contest? He sucked my breast for 9 years and still counting. Shut up your mouth. Yours is for pleasure. Mine gave him life.
Okay, so what's your point here, ladies? What is the point? I get that they're both trying to say that they cared for him and they loved him and all that stuff like that. And the mother is like, I brought him into this world. And the wife is like, well, I'm with him now. I'm taking care of him now. So they both have really valid points. The problem is you are sort of eliminating the space for him to be capable of loving more than one person who is caring for him and loving him at the same time. Moms-in-law and daughters-in-law, you need to understand that your husband is a fully fledged person, not an idea or concept of someone who loves someone. So it's not a limited capacity thing. It's an actual person that's got feelings and emotions, and he can love both of you. He can love one more than the other. He's receiving different benefits from different people, and it depends on his stage of life and growth, what he's getting from the person and what he needs from that person. Moms, I know you want to feel useful. The best way to help your sons once they've grown up is to give them the space to live the life that you made them ready for. That's the best gift that you can give them, to allow them to live and to experience things, because then they will know that you trust them with their own lives. It will be so sad for a person to grow up the entire life not knowing or feeling that their mom can trust them to live on their own and take care of themselves. It's so sad.
An overwhelming number of you have asked about this. Worst nightmare. Narcissistic daughter-in-laws. You don't have to wait until they get married for her mask to come off. It's going to slip as soon as she gets the ring, as soon as she starts planning the wedding. Female narcissists are the very worst. The most vile. Has no intentions of getting along with his mother, or any sisters if he has them. Her goal is to turn her husband against his whole family, forced to pick a side. And she will brainwash him into believing that since she is the wife, he has to pick her side. That's the right thing to do, according to her. Family cohesion, not her goal. But the mother will see what's going on, and she will fight for the soul of her son. But the daughter-in-law will make it look like the mommy just doesn't want to give up her baby. And that's not it at all. She'll start fights with the sisters. After enough time, a man who's very close to his family will have cut them out completely. And that's an isolation.
Whoa, honey, do you hear yourself? You fighting for his soul. What are you, like a guardian angel or something? I don't get this. Look, narcissistic people can be really awful people, especially if they haven't been diagnosed and don't have any therapy or anything going on. They can be awful people. So I'm not discounting the fact that you may just have a narcissistic daughter-in-law. But the problem becomes here where you are thinking in like a single-minded way to be like, her whole life is dedicated to come into your son's life just to steal him away from you. That sounds a little narcissistic to me. That sounds kind of narcissistic to me. And the concept of fighting for his soul. What the hell are you talking about? You ain't Jesus. You shouldn't be fighting for anyone's soul. That's not your purpose. It's not your point. No, honey, no. I'm so sorry. But no. Just no. I really can't get over this. How you think that you are in the right by having this concept of an all-out war with a singular person who you say is hell-bent on this one goal, which makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. That a person would dedicate their entire lives just to ruining the family. Really just think about it. That person would have to be absolutely diabolical. And if that was the case, they would not just stop there. They wouldn't just stop at removing your son. They would be doing some other terrible crap as well. So this doesn't make sense. Really just think about it. Just take a second and think about it. And I'm not trying to say that your daughter-in-law is not a narcissist, because that is a possibility. But the point that I'm trying to make right here is that you need some help, because I see a little bit of narcissism on your side of the end as well. You're welcome to discount what I'm saying. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But the point is that don't try and pin somebody's motives or intention, because you don't know what that is until you ask them and talk to them. And if they're willing to be honest with you and tell you the truth about it, that's when you can find out what that person is all about. But you can't just say this person is a narcissist and they are there to ruin your family and then try and convince your son that he is being hurt by his family in some way. You have to consider the fact that there are family members and people that actually might be hurting him. Maybe she's better for him. Maybe he's figuring this out on his own. give your son the credit, but also get some freaking therapy, because this is going to be a serious problem and your grandkids are going to sense that tension, okay? And if you love your son, you will love his kids and make an attempt to get along with his wife, because he loves you too. He loves both of you and he doesn't want to see you fight. So don't take this to that level, okay? And like I said, this whole video was trying to find a way to identify with mothers-in-law. And so far, the only thing that I've identified from the majority of women that I've seen in this video is that you guys have a problem letting go of your sons who are perfectly capable of living their own lives. Trust them to love their own lives. Pray for them. Be there for them. Give them the space so that when you are needed, which will always happen because your kids love you, they will come back to you because they will make a space for you to be needed. Don't be afraid. You're not losing your son when he gets married. You're not losing your kids when they move away. They're just making different decisions and exploring what works for them. They will come back to you because they love you, because that's what it means to have a good and healthy parent and child relationship. At least that's what I think. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you're a mother-in-law and you think I'm absolutely talking complete nuts and nonsense, you are most welcome to say so in the comments. I love reading dissenting comments because I'm trying to understand where people come from. I love trying to understand where people come from because it helps me change my perception of that person and of the situation as well. So yeah, so let's go to our scripture of the day, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Your scripture of the day comes from Isaiah 42 verse 19, which says, "Who is as blind as my own people, my servant? Who is as deaf as my messenger? Who is as blind as my chosen people, the servant of the Lord?" Okay, well, that's it from me. Yeah, my hair is just doing its own thing today. But anyway, so yeah. It breaks my heart really to see how some of these women are struggling with this issue. They don't deserve to struggle with this. You've raised a kid from childhood into adulthood. You deserve to see them thrive, so give them that opportunity, because they will surprise you with what they are capable of and of how strong they are. And that's because you raised them that way, so give them the chance to explore and to express that, okay? Take a chill pill, sit back, watch as your kid runs their own life so that you can be proud of them, because they will make you proud because you raised them like that. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here, and also I would love it if you could enjoy the rest of your day because you absolutely deserve it. Cheers!
그대 잠깐 눈을 붙일 때 나는 마음에 물을 붙여요. 비밀의 나만의 초콜릿. 그대 차가